and welcome to another exciting evening on Oguta Roundtable. I'm Reginald Hassan, and I'm very, very excited to bring you another wonderful episode of Oguta Roundtable. Today, as always, we're going to have so many exciting discussions. I'm bringing you two guests who would have been here last week, but well, as it all happened, and we're bringing them to you today. So don't go anywhere while we'll go hook up with our first guest for today, and that it will be Pastor 𝗃𝗂𝗁, all the way from the United Kingdom. Thank you very much for coming live on One Radio Network, Oguta Roundtable. Pastor 𝗃𝗂𝗁, we've been discussing, and because we want this year to be the year of talk, so that next year will be the year of action for Oguta. You know, they said that tough times bring out tough people, and necessity is the mother of invention. I believe that God is letting Nigeria go through what we're going through today so that we can be better. Look at countries like Japan, China, and the rest of them. Even India, they went through severe hunger to become who they are today. So, coming and pertaining our beloved Oguta, what are those things you think that if we see in the by next year, we will know that Oguta is on the right path to development?
Well,
sorry, please start with introducing with yourself to our Oguta audience in our Oguta language, Biko. Before I was sharing with you, who do.
I'll try my best because I'm on Oguta, I'm on 𝗔𝗕𝗂𝗁𝗂, I'm Janet Utorogo, 𝗢𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗𝗃 𝗔𝗔𝗕𝗟𝗓. My dad, 𝗔𝗔𝗕𝗃, Fidelis Uzonwanne. I'm within Oguta.
Okay.
My neighbor Oguta for 2 years. They did a PNGFS, Brazilian Memorial Grammar School.
Okay.
So I'm from there for just 2 years.
Okay.
And within that 2 years, I'm from Ifa for communal spirit, you know, like Madu Inabata. You know, on the basis that I'm a NDPO, I'm a DGA, I'm a INEAYA.
Okay.
You know, and that has actually spurred me a lot. He identified as an Oku Imuvu Oguta forward. A collective thing. But then, 𝗙𝗃𝗶𝗰𝗲, I suppose if I am from the perspective of the vision, the founding fathers for Oguta. And that structurally, Oguta was a very well-formed town and a beautiful place, endowed with natural, you know, resources such as the lake, and of course, I mean, very prominent and influential, you know, personalities. And based on this foundation, I think now Oguta is the wherewithal, you know, in every facet of life. Oguta is quite a number of doctors, engineers, lawyers, barristers, you know, even musicians on an international level. On the other day, I'm with a few friends of mine, you know, the native Dr. Alban. You know, and there was this joy that came from the fact that now I'm on Dr. Alban, of course, because an international music, and you have an international musician, right?
Yes.
Now, on this predicate, if we doing that now, to move Oguta forward, all these influential personalities needed he come to a consensus. He needed he made like a town board, community leaders. He needed among that name local authorities. But then give one rule. And that man that na Oguta is a monthly incentive. So these are some of the things they need to be account for. They need to be leaders. They are the principled, disciplined, accountable, right?
Yeah.
And truthful. Which is that na a committee ego na kawo, they will be able to give account of what the money was spent on.
Yeah.
More so, actually, if we go reflect Oguta. So there's work to be done. There is a lot of things that needs to be done. But then I want to say that now, anything in association, professional association, only like a foundation, here help the vision for Oguta. Because what is Oguta's vision in terms of progress? Individually, Oguta make impact. Like, Abraham Oguta 2022, for being the mad on individual basis.
Yeah.
But any, commerciality in Oguta, anything, attract investors and businesses other than the lake.
Yeah.
And as we speak, any tourism board in Oguta. So these are the foundations that needs to be made. I see actual investors, actual businesses to come into Oguta. Then there should be a platform on which an investor would want to come to Oguta and invest. There should be a platform on which someone who lives in America with a businessman would want to come and invest in Oguta. We're not even, let's say
Nigeria, yeah.
Oguta, like here happen Lagos, here happen Port Harcourt, here happen other places, be prominent na
Map.
Nigeria.
Yeah.
They are Oguta, right?
Yeah.
In a business. So there's so much to be done. Even an market for next year. Well, it's not impossible because I'm gonna happen with faith, person, right? I believe that with God nothing shall be impossible unto him that believes. So
You meant without God.
Exactly. But my view is this, my point is this. Any certain platforms, they attractive businesses, they attractive investors, right? If we're not working, thank God that something is being done, in that land. But then, probably for an hour or two. We're grateful that at least that is happening. But then each of a business there into Oguta, or that may depend on never.
At all.
Yes, I find
Reliable, sustainable, yeah.
I was told by my cousin that our roads are being improved. Very good roads now in Oguta.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a plus. The environment needs to be clean. So any factors that determine progress, nobody on an individual scale. Individually, Oguta is doing great. But what we're talking about, the progress, right?
Yeah.
Of Oguta, as in, it helps the youths, the upcoming ones. I mean, a lot of youths now, they are left from right. But you don't have to go to school to be a successful person. All you need for an education. So, anything, institutions, I help these youths off the street, off drugs, right?
Yeah.
Over carpentry, over mechanic, or grow electrician, whatever they can do, you now that, apprenticeship program for a period, then the local or the town board, they are finding a way, if you need right, a set out of a new water, they did with something to creative. However small, right? They do something, namely, that will help security in Oguta, because although that na less crime and violence in Oguta, then Oguta really attracting investors. Only they are an investor, they are investing on stable place, economy or security wise. So there are quite a number of and Okwosha area. Like in the next year, it's not impossible. But then, the people, a collective effort, it may show that Oguta, move forward, in terms of progress and all of those things.
Yeah.
I know quite a number of Oguta people know in diaspora, America, Canada, UK, UK, right?
Yes, sir.
There are quite a number of professionals who in Oguta, outside, they mean Roma. So, at the moment, if you go in a collective, perspective on this unity of purpose, but if that in on ground, right, institutions, associations, like the town board, community leaders from the 27 villages, certain people from each village, 1 or 2 people from each village, he help he monitor what is going on in Oguta. Oguta can be extended on, right? Then under this institution, this foundations, if I make like the lake for an example, it can be internationalized. I'm that now festive periods, right?
Yeah.
But after Christmas, what happens? Everybody not just
𝗧𝗔𝗕𝗟𝗏, yeah.
So often UK or America, if all friends and family do Oguta, right? So put up a place the productive place. I'm sorry to say.
Yes, there's not. We don't have industries. Yeah.
Production, Oguta. Then these changes will have to be foundational. If I push that now, I make sure that the right personnel, in the right offices, push that Oguta image certain things. One. Then actually here image is here for sure that investors and businesses when they speak on behalf of Oguta in terms of if they approach of that business in Oguta. As we speak, I understand any a single bank in Oguta. Only a financial house, I don't think that is working. But then even if that works, right, the financial house that would be a bank. And like a town or a place that is thriving. There are certain basic factors in the Oguta to make Oguta progress or progressive. I could carry on.
No, we still have time. We still have time yet. Sir.
All right. Now, let's just take arts for an example. Let's take arts for an example, right? Our cultural, the cultural nature of Oguta was something that can, be represented anytime, anywhere on an international scale. Injury, the likes of 𝗔𝗔𝗕𝗏𝗏, a musician, Dr. Alban,
Yeah.
right? These are people represent adequately. But what are they doing on the Oguta scale? All right? These are people who really on art, based on art, okay, let's do this in Oguta. Any doctors, any engineers, any lawyers. I mean, what are these? Any association of doctors in Oguta? Any association of engineers in Oguta? Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Because anything in this foundation, right? Then achieve what is the way forward. So with all these associations, energy equalizing this association, okay, these are the things that actually need the amusement park in Oguta for attracting international audience, or attracting investors, or attracting government investing, or then any okay, apprenticeship institutions, okay, any music school, any a place that skilled people, youth, I think the opportunity school. Because somebody everybody the opportunity is school. But that doesn't mean that they cannot go to school. Right? After that, now right, is support to market school. That's a very good and it's a laudable one. But beyond that, right, any degree account for any institutionalizing, whatever is being done, so any room for more people to be taken on board. Also, our youth, they go put drugs, they go put but because of the economic situation, only the idea is only so education is just tertiary, the classroom, even university, then the school. No. Here in the UK, people know in DIY. If you go, if you go to Wahaba, you have a degree, yes, because now we don't know it. So, I mean, if directly or a form of education, it helpful in the of privilege issue, okay, Guinea on that part here, any render bush that won't know into painting. Any render bush that in your bushy, we are poetry, we are mozo, any bit helpful in guide that work. All of these for incentives, right?
Yes, sir.
They are all part and parcel of development because also any skilled workers, then any opportunity for invention, any opportunity for things, progress. Oguta they're endowed with, personalities. But then in that same Oguta, a very poor set of people. You too will see that any direction into open Asha. And in that year go use this youth, not also problem no good. Right?
Yes,
the youth will see that because none of the family she not into drugs. But anything in work any alcohol would be with AIDS, no. These apprenticeship institutes, right? Only you're not there for 6 months or 1 year, or as a mechanic, or as a carpenter or electrician. All of these go a long way in transforming Oguta.
Babe, just 1 minute, just to cut, not cutting you short, but I just wanted to chip in something, and it is very important. Oguta shena onyara igwone ogwo ara nu okwerekwana no yara because obu no okwedi no yara o ashini ibo onyara. My question is this: would there been a lot of discussion about our youth? Do they even think that they need help? What I'm saying so is because there's been this discrediting of Ande Ogwagu and some other institutions in Oguta, and about not helping the youth and all those. then I took time, because before I get into any fight, I like to understand where the fight started from. And I called a friend of mine who is an Ogbuagu, and I asked him, when he told me his experience with some youths in Oguta, he even mentioned names which I can't come here, neither mention his name or some of the distance. And I inquired, and what he said, in fact, they said he didn't even tell me some very dirty experiences he had. And so the question is this.
My brother.
So my question is this: how can we get these youth to, first of all, accept that they have a problem that needs to be solved, and also to humble themselves? Because if you want to get something from somebody, you need to be humble enough to receive it. If you are filled with emptiness and pride, you will not be humble enough to receive what you need to strive. A lot of these young people think that wealth is built by luck and chance, not knowing that it takes careful hard work. You understand? So please, how do we address this to the Oguta youth?
If you recall, I did say that Oguta's progress will not be scored on an individual basis. So if an Ogbuagu tries to help, some of our youth with his money and influence, it may not work. What we need to do is create awareness. And also, I did mention that we have 27 villages in Oguta, right?
Yes,
now,
sir.
If there's a structure of community leadership, right, we could get 1 or 2 people from each village. These people will tell us those that need, that need help, right? Those that want to go. Look, there has to be a way of creating, not just the awareness is educating people in the level to which they understand. Everybody cannot go to school. Not everybody will go to secondary school. Not everybody will go to university. I just gave an inference, right, to what is happening here in UK. You have people who are skilled. They are painters. You have some who are carpenters, electricians, right? The car they drive and where they live, you with your degree cannot live there. Why? Because they were, the awareness was created right from, when they were teenagers. They could realize that, this one does not want to go to school, right? And could also see his skills. And based on that predicate, they help them, right, to go to apprenticeship school. By the time they are 12 or 15, they are professionals in their own right, and earning their own money, and living the way they want. So if we have this awareness thing, it's a lot of talking on an individual basis. However, there has to be a foundation upon which these institutions can thrive. Otherwise, it becomes impossible to help the unhelped. Like you rightly said, if someone doesn't know he needs help, but then it's only a fool that would not know he needs help. Except, of course, if the person is on drugs or is being influenced by the wrong hand. Catch up if dismantle. Because if we dismantle the wrong mindset and inculcate the right mindset into a youth, our community will be a better place for it.
Exactly, exciting, and exactly what my sentiment. So my question is this now: after all said and done, considering that at the moment we have pockets and packets of Oguta organization and people doing things, but my suggestion, like I've always mentioned in this program, is that a more structured approach will help achieve mileage. Because sometimes something, especially when you want to do something big. Yes, we're all doing small, but then sometimes if we all collectively draw out a plan, then somebody can say window, only other she door, only other she will happen in toilet, only other she bashani kitchen happen in canoe. By the time you are done, you discover that a house would have been built with very little and less effort. So how can we collectively now bring all the Oguta development institutions into a structured this thing? And we have a traditional institution, the 𝗧𝗕𝗂𝗧𝗕. Can we work with him and then the OCDA to harmonize and bring all this together and draw up a vision? There's something happening. There's a conference coming up in Abuja on the 16th, 17th, about that week, in which is supposed to bring in ideas and visions. And it is funny that some traditional Oguta institutions are not even keying into this initiative. Normally, end of year party, 𝗢𝗡𝗂𝗧𝗔, but this, the OCDU in Abuja said, no, enough of this. Let's not just drink. Yeah, they'll be drinking, they'll be dancing, but let's also plan, because anybody that does not plan for the future has already failed for the future. So he said that, yeah, instead of the usual come drink, come eat and shut down, if they want to draw a structure moving Oguta forward, and our suggestion has always been, okay, let's take from now till the end of the year, let everybody bring their ideas, bring in visions, and let's see how we can hit the ground in the next year running. Because when people say things are difficult now, it will get worse. But if we take advantage of it, then it can only get better, because you can't keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. So what will you suggest and say to the Oguta associations and suggestions that can bring all of us together so that 𝗢𝗡𝗂𝗧𝗔
is that not how they say it?
That's how they say it.
Right? Well, yeah. Without the foundation, it becomes impossible to progress. Now, there's a saying that when the foundation is faulty, what can the righteous do?
Yeah.
Right? We need the right foundation. We need to coalesce, come together, right? Individually, we are, all the professionals, right, in their rights. But then there has to be a body. There has to be a body, that is in control. A body that, that envisions what Oguta needs to move forward. So you have all these professionals. There has to be a selected, members of these bodies as an association or an institution or a board, whatever it's called. But we need proficient people. We need disciplined people. We need principled people to run these outfits, right? Now, when we have all of these people in place, it makes it a lot easier to reach out to our brothers in diaspora to say, look, this association is for apprenticeship school. This association is for, electricity in Oguta. This association is for tourism, right? So we have the tourism board, right? Now, we want to see a joint effort, and this will not work without the landowners and landlords in Oguta. Because we're trying to bring a transformation, a change in the face and structure of Oguta. Oguta is a beautiful place, like I said, right? On an individual basis, you have structures erected. So now, Asians need to get under one umbrella. 𝗙𝗔𝗕𝗟𝗏 Club A, Club B, Club C, right? These ABC institutions are responsible for ABC, things to do in Oguta. Then the platforms, different platforms, like Oguta Consensus, for an example, is a platform. Associations, right? Now, all of these associations, worldwide, can now come under these umbrellas. Okay, these are the things we want to do. Actually, go school. Actually, go, but there has to be accountability. As it on an individual basis, on my work day, because even where I go, then you just hear meet a youth if oh, I can help this you. On your own, yes, it's a laudable, thing to do. But we're talking about, having an opportunity for everyone willing. If the educated in one form or the other, you need the opportunity. That way, Oguta you need a very solid foundation. So I'm actually I'm a electrician, I'm actually mechanic, because then engineers, of course engineers, lawyers, so yeah, Oguta have a place here at the secure for investors if they are investing. Because the bottom line is that so the progressive they must predicate on investment. It must commercialize. Only the people about progress here is progress. No, but in the 80s, I believe, if I recall, Oguta needed 2 banks. The hospital, as we speak, I don't think there is a standard hospital in Oguta. But there are so many doctors in Oguta. The outlets, the Bible in Oguta, other than that Mapopo one. And then engineers in Oguta. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So we have to now sit down to restructure Oguta, have one common vision for Oguta. And ultimately in that vision, this is why I see that now, I need to read 𝗲𝗂𝗧𝗏 landlords, then 𝗲𝗂𝗧𝗏 landowners, because that will mean encroaching on lands, that will mean, having a bit of improvement on the structural planning of Oguta as a whole. But then, what I'm saying, he come to a consensus with landowners and landlords. Issue, okay, this is how much you will be willing to pay or whatever. But my point is, integrate everybody. Bring in every Oguta person. Nobody in responsibility is if that a youth alone. Nobody responsibility if that it's a collective thing.
Yeah.
So and to make it work, nobody if you go from left, right, and center, there should be a structure. There should be there are things that can be done in such a way that these youths too, in return, right? So as they come out from these apprenticeship programs and all of those, and they are set up, they are contributing to the program, both financially and not otherwise. Because if I will just head count, if is it not? A place make it progress. The people not there, and
Pastor Chooks, we have to do a part 2 for you. So this is part 1 of Pastor Chooks. Watch out for part 2 coming out very soon. We still have another guest we need to bring on the program. Pastor Chooks, thank you very much. There are lots of questions for you, but we're going to throw those questions in part 2. So let's relieve you now. Thanks for coming on Oguta Roundtable. And like I said, Pastor Chooks is definitely coming back because Ghana will just sample. And then to Pastor Chooks fans that were here last week, and thanks for coming again today to listen to Pastor Chooks. Now we know exactly why the whole world wanted to hear you out. I've been doing more of listening than questioning. Mbona Pastor Chooks.
My pleasure. I'm grateful. Thanks for
okay, before we let you go and bring in our next guest, please, what do you want to say to our Oguta people, both the youths and our Oguta people, especially those like Light Up Oguta, 𝗖𝗎𝗂𝘁, and the rest of them that have always stood out, and a few individuals too that have always stood out when it comes to things that pertains Oguta?
All right. I'll sum up everything I've said, by reading just one scripture. I'm bringing in God because, see, any foundation built without God is in vain, right? And this scripture will speak volume. It's what we need for all these, parties you've mentioned to realize the importance of one another. We should come to a level where we are tolerant, to a level where we, show brotherly love, because these are the things that can make it work. Otherwise, it will not work. Ishing because need Diego, need then it will not work. But let me just read a scripture. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 10. That's the sum total of everything I've said. Okay. And I hope it resonates with everyone. Okay. Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, that you all speak the same thing, and that there be no divisions among you, but that you be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment. I wish I had time, to explain this scripture, but it's just, the sum total of, what all I've said. Look, until we are united as one people with a common vision, right? Mm-hmm. Oguta is going nowhere. This one next year, mark, it's very possible. But we all need to we need to come down from our high horses and be humble. Yeah? Yeah. We need to be humble. We need to be humble. That you have money is grace. God has equipped you with that money for a purpose. But if we all come together as one united force, will remain for me. God bless you.
Before you leave, I just want to say someone actually agrees with you. 𝗢𝗎𝗂𝗏 says yes, that without unity there is no way any meaningful development can be achieved in Oguta. You agree with what Pastor Chooks is saying. Thank you very much, Pastor Chooks, for coming on the program. Please keep watching and carry on with the rest of the program, because while we're letting you go, the program is still going on with our next guest, which is Ambassador Chika. Thank you very much, Pastor Chooks.
I'm grateful. Thank you.
Bye. So now we're going to be joined with Ambassador Chika in a few minutes, and the program goes on. That was very, very exciting, and you notice that Ambassador Chika, welcome to Oguta Roundtable.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
And our apologies again for the technical issues that happened last week, and we're happy that you are here with us. Biko, introduce yourself to our Oguta audience and audience around the world.
Okay, I'm not going to
please carry on now.
I'm Ambassador Okwosha, Chika𝗶𝗏𝗏 Nnamani. I'm going to Okwosha. I'm going to Okwosha, New Village. That's the small introduction of myself, and I've been involved with NGOs at the time to help people. I have a YouTube channel where I talk about family values, trying to help our young ones, women, and children to find their feet and be able to move forward in our society. So that's in a nutshell. Apart from being an entrepreneur of my own self, but my passion primarily is to make sure that we restore the values of our family, restore it back.
Wow.
Give back ourselves to that point where we will be what we used to be. That's what it is.
Mbona. And you can agree with us that back in Oguta, back in the days, where our sister Sarah Oguta has been working on the program called Marriage Bliss. And during that program, we discovered that Oguta, especially in Imo Bodo, we have a lot of young women who became mothers too early to know what motherhood is all about, raising the next and subsequent generations of parents and young people with training they did not get. And we also have a lot of juvenile delinquencies and a lot of crime and drug and all those in Oguta. Now, some people generally cannot give what they do not have. So my question is this: how do we begin to solve some of these problems? And you have the two hands. You have the one for family, and you have the other arm for drug abuse. Ngwa, we are pushing Oguta to you now.
Thank you very much. This is a very important question, and I will start by saying that growing up as a young girl, I used to come to Oguta for festivals, for Christmas and all that, and my parents would bring me. And it was a beautiful time, in the sense that there was no unity in the sense of, oh, we cannot live together, and it's no one person trains a child. Even for a job, the person that sees you or reports that there is a problem. Yeah, then I already could get to that point where they say, I'll tell your parents. Because I'm good at that in those days. And it's for everybody to do. But having said that, the most important aspect of whatever we are discussing or whatever we want to do is the foundation. The home foundation is no longer what it used to be. The values we are throwing it under the box. We are throwing it off. We don't want to see the right thing and praise it and the wrong thing and condemn it. We want to protect. Even when you can see somebody is a thief, somebody is a liar, somebody is anything you want to call it. Instead of you coming out to correct it and talking some happening, it just shows that it's my own, it's my child, it's my family, and they have a happy end. And that is what started our problem. Only of them actually protecting them, realizing that you are not helping the structure, you are not helping the town, you are not helping anybody, you are not even helping your home. Because one day that child will slap you. That child will look you in the face and tell you off. Because already the question are the wrong thing. When somebody comes to your house to listen to you, you tell your child, tell that person I'm not at home. What have you done? You are teaching the child how to lie. And tomorrow you cannot look at that child's face and tell the child, please, what you did is wrong, don't do it. No, mommy, that is what it is. Or that is so cool. So it's a question of do as I do, what as I say. And that is one of the greatest problems we have. So the foundation is shaking. In short, we don't even have it anymore. Because the values are off. People have thrown it away. So that is, we have to start from there. We have to start from that foundation first. Because you cannot give what you don't have. You have to understand the values, the value system, both individually, collectively, societal, everything has to be understood before you can impact. You can only do that when you understand what they are and what it should be, irrespective of whoever that is involved, irrespective of who is getting changed. The important thing is, at the end of the values are what we uphold as people, as individuals, and as homes. Without that, we are not moving forward until we start telling ourselves the truth. And when we do that, then we are going to have a better home, because it's the home that forms society, and the society that forms the world. So if we don't have that foundation, if we don't get it right, or correct it, or return it to the values we used to know, we cannot be talking about moving forward. So that, for me, that is where we should start first, educating ourselves, both parents and children, and knowing the right thing to do. And this is not something you can say in a minute or in
Definitely.
5 seconds, or yeah, something that you have to really sit people down to let them understand nitty-gritty and the reason behind what should be done. Because it's very positivity that can bring development. Negativity will never bring development.
So now let's talk about the other angle which I talk about, which is drugs. It has destroyed families and a lot of young people. In fact, some families have tried on their own and have not been able to solve it. They don't even know how to start from their left to the right to solve drug issues among our young people. So the question is this: for a family that is going through that challenge, what would you advise them to do? How should this search or quest to solve this? How should they go about it?
Okay, but as they say, actually, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. That is number one. Then number two, like the previous speaker said, ordinary education, not going to school alone, that helps people to become successful or develop better. Now, problem are here from inception, which is not just Oguta problem, but fundamental problem in our society. Discovering people's talents and strengths and guiding them aright. Now, a child who is inclined to carpentry, or inclined to what we call it, farming, or inclined to something else, mechanic and everything, instead of us helping and channeling that child to that vocation, we emphasize on you must go to school. The basis to immigration.
In school, sometimes in school they will even say, "Oh, doctor, yeah, doctor. I need to one doctor, one lawyer in this house, engineer."
Exactly. So we are actually the cause of this problem. We started it. Unfortunately, I always like to say things as they are. Parents are the architects of our problem. We started this problem. So we have to correct it, we have to bring it back. Now, the HOD University does not make you less of a successful person in life later, or make you less of somebody to reckon with. Now, I'm direct SAP for you to give an insight as to why it is so. Now, when such happens, this child is not enthusiastic. He doesn't want to go to school. He doesn't want to go to university. He doesn't have head for it. I'm an artist. I want to be an artist. I want to be a mechanic. I want to be a stylist. Now, if that child is not given that opportunity, what do you think will happen? The child will look for alternative ways to get himself happy or herself happy. Thereby, getting into associations that he's not supposed to be into. He will go to school. He will go somewhere else. He will go and talk nonsense. He will get involved in horrible things that parents may not be aware of. Next to what the parents don't even know what is going on. School or the one yet goes on today. And the child never gets into the school. So some of these problems come from the home as well. That's the foundation, that's the primary source of our problem. If we can tackle it, that thing will work. And these are the things that pushing. And then another thing that happens is most times parents are not observant. You don't watch your child. You don't even read the body language. You don't even want to call that child in. He's always Authority. Authority does not solve problems. You must do what I said. No, engage that child in discussion. Understand the mindset of that child so it works. And then you now look at it and then see how to help this child and program the child aright. If you can do that, all these things we are talking about will die a natural death. They won't even be there. Okay, again, they make it form. And somebody is not there, people guide and ask questions, not friends. Can you teach money? She will look for other alternatives to find herself, to make herself happy. In quote, and it's not happiness. Like you said, I do not feel it. Any pregnancy, this and that, getting involved in drugs, getting involved in theft, and what have you. So when these things are lacking, this is what we are bound to have. There's a stage in life. Every first 5 years of a child, you are going to attack things. And that's when you put what when you do the child. You train the child. After that 5 years, the next 10 years, you are going to educate that child. And that education is my primary school, my secondary school, modern trying to give the child the foundation. As far as that, once that child passes that age, and crossing to 14, 15, 16, 17, the friendship should come. You become a friend. You ask questions. You want to value. You want to find out what's going on. You encourage them. You speak to them. You come out clearly and tell them. Let me tell you what used to happen in those days. I remember very well, one of my friends said that this what my mother told me was, don't let a man touch you because you will get pregnant. And she won't ask a question. How can a man just touch me and I'll get pregnant? The mother has not told her anything. But that if a man touches you, you will get pregnant. Can cause a problem. The physical mind of the child can cause a problem, and the child wants to go and even find out how can a man touch you and have a what the problem has started. So we have to know when and when to transit and what to do at each time for a child to be properly educated and for a child to develop properly. So if we can bring that friendship into being, then we have gone a long way in helping. And then rules must be obeyed. If there's something that my mother told me once, until your child tells you I hate you, it's not brought up that yes, until your child says I don't like you, you are not good for me, you don't love me, you are wicked with them, you must accept your friend as a
parents. Because they're not supposed to be their friend first. You're supposed to be their parent before being their friend. And you need to choose over parenting over being friends. Yeah.
You have to be, yes, before first and foremost. So by the time you put those issues and put your feet down, they can whine, they can shout, they can make noise. That's not a problem. At a particular point in their life, they will look back and thank you. Yeah. I know that, look, you are not being wicked. You are actually training them for the future. And you are training them to stand their ground and be strong in the society. So now what we are saying, I have had experiences that I have to talk to leaders, I have to talk to children, I have had programs where people are telling you, I don't want my child to cry, I don't want my child to ask for this and the child cannot get it. And the question I keep asking them, when you were growing up, did your parents give you all these things we are talking about just like that? And some of them to say yes. Then why are you bringing it to your own child? You are not bringing up that, you are bringing a problem. Because this child cannot stand in the society and go its own on her own. So there are a lot of things we are getting wrong. And if you don't do that, even if you like talk about drugs from now to tomorrow, tell them to stop smoking, tell them to stop drinking, you are not doing a job. The job here is the root. Root cause is what you have to remove. And the root cause is making sure we streamline things and put them in the proper perspective.
Exactly.
For them to understanding that they are doing something wrong and they are affecting their health, they are affecting their production, they are not going to be better off. At the end of the day, they are going to be destitute, they are going to be better. So by the time they realize that look, this is where I'm headed, if I don't take a new turn, then how they are saying will not work. And there's another thing. You cannot change any human being. You cannot change any human being. You can only take back. And the human being can only change when the person decides, I want to change. You cannot change anybody. When the person does not make that decision of, I want to change, you are just talking to yourself.
Yeah.
So
Brings us to my popular saying that Onyara and no 𝗢𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 Okwosha no Yara, because Obu no Kwodi or actually Onyara. So the person will really need to accept that he needs the drug that you are making for him, or that there is something wrong. Yeah, just to respond to some of our people online. Flexi have asked, what is Oguta Roundtable all about? Oguta Roundtable is a weekly podcast where we discuss anything and everything concerning the development and moving Oguta forward. Also, Rex Okwosha, we said he wants to come on this program. Yeah, Rex, we want to see representation of the youth, the future of Oguta on this program. And I'm going to mention it to the producer to also bring some Oguta young people. We cannot be discussing the future of Oguta and ignoring the people who will be the people or who are going to mastermind this future, as the case may be. Before I throw the next question, I want to encourage all young Oguta people, no matter where you are, to join and follow this program, because like I said, and like you just mentioned, Oguta people will need to understand and agree that there is a challenge before we can work together to fix it. So it involves unity of purpose, acceptance of the common goal, then we can all work together to move Oguta forward. So Ambassador Chika, thanks for coming on the program. Before we let you go, I want you to give a final word to the Oguta people, then to the parents and to the young people, especially to hit on something which is called substance abuse. You know, sometimes when people talk about drug abuse, sometimes they say, no, cocaine and they also mobibo. Sometimes even Panadol, some cough syrups, tramadol, some prescription drugs, when used wrongly, can become addictive. Please help us discuss that as we let you round up on this episode of Oguta Roundtable.
Okay. First of all, the first thing that comes to our mind is, we as parents, what are our challenges? What do we want to do? How do we want to solve this problem? How are we going to help this young one? Like you said, substances, drugs, alcohol, some of them are part of this drug abuse. Now, if we start by asking Lord Almighty for strength, because there's nothing we can do without Him. We have to ask Him for strength and for guidance as to the best way and best approach to solve this problem. Because it's a fundamental problem, very big problem. Onyara is like 𝗙𝗎𝗂𝗏𝗏. Oh my God, my phone. It doesn't matter what best. When the activity is bad, everybody is affected. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to affect it.
Somebody should now stray bullet know they ask for ID card.
Exactly. So, you never talk with him at your own, not your problem. But if you're making all the or the person is not okay, it's related to you one form or the other.
Yeah.
In one form or the other. So all of us will carry the shame and be moving about. So the area 𝗢𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 is huge, and find a way around it. Hopefully and prayerfully it will help all of us. And then we now bring in our people who are involved in this charity work or who have the connections to get us sponsors and people that will come on board to work with us, to reach out, because it's not any if we just have to put any funds to get them actualized. Because you need to put them together, you need to get the rehabilitation center, you need to get doctors, you need to get professionals, you need to get mental health practitioners, you need to get everybody on board fully rehabilitate them and let them start seeing, how do we move this thing forward? How do we make it to work? But if you to face it tomorrow without a concrete plan and execution, it will continue. The generation will stay continuing our list. So I need to really make what we need to do to make it better for all of us. So that I do have people we are blessed with everything. He has it, human and otherwise. He don't look at each other. But unity of purpose. Love ourselves. We are brothers keepers. Forget about cooking and backbiting and all these judgmental things, because that's where our thoughts stand. Forgive and forget and move on to the next step. So until we come to that conclusion that look, we want to have a better Oguta, we want to have better understanding of ourselves, and then we make progress. So for me, that is a starting point for all of us. If we can do that, then every other thing will fall in place. And then they will take born and we are doing well. We say I did a better and gratitude I do stand. So it's not easy. It's not easy.
Okay, thank you very much for coming on our program. And thank you. Please, we'll still bring you back, because like this discussion is just beginning and we have plenty more, and we'll keep bringing you in until all these are sorted out. And you know that you are not just one thing you are in. So many of the key things we want to talk about, like the family and the individual, the use drugs and all these, we need to keep talking until we'll make it institutionalized and the problem is solved. So Ambassador Chika will keep bringing you on the program until that is done, and keep indulging us until it's done. Mbona.
Thank you, Bon.
All right. That was Ambassador Chika, and it's been a super packed program today, and we thank God for the crew today and all they put in place, and we are now the ones ahead of our challenges. We are really prepared for all the village people from nearby villages that wanted to disrupt the progress of what we're doing. And for those of you who are just joining and you're watching Oguta Roundtable, a program where we discuss the things, everything that has to do with progress, development, and unity in Oguta, sponsored by my auntie May Nwabiani and Dr. Felix Okwosha, produced by my able producer Evangelist Henry Okoli, and of course with the support of the One Radio crew in Oguta, and so a lot of our other crew members I cannot call out one by one today because of time. We're already overshot by 10 minutes, and we thank you, and like we said, we can only get better, and we are glad we are keeping up to that and getting better. And next week we have lots and tons of surprises for you. We also want to introduce there is a new program coming up that will be showing on this channel every Saturday, and it is titled This Week in Oguta. That program will showcase events and happenings in Oguta over the week. We cannot add it to this because it will overbloat the program, so we have decided to give you all the gist. If any pararam mere in Oguta, be sure you will hear it on This Week in Oguta. If you have an event, something coming up, or something that had happened over the week, reach out to our crew in Oguta or One Network Port Harcourt, or our producers, or mention it on Oguta Consign Us, and we'll sure reflect and talk about it in This Week in Oguta. I want to also thank our remote correspondent Rex Okoronkwo, who has been working with us on the background on today's episode, and yes, he's going to be coming one of these days on the program with a few youths, so that we can even hear from the youths themselves what they think about all the plans. Remember, if you can make it to the convention in Abuja, please plan to attend. And we're already making arrangements to have our One Radio Abuja correspondents joining in streaming and breaking it live. And the one Oguta Roundtable crew will be here to run commentaries live as the program goes on. This is what we call a global town hall conference from Abuja, and will beg Oguta people all over the world to please join us on that program. Thanks once again, and God bless you.